Hello everyone and welcome back to STW Sports. I'm host Samuel right here with Huddersfield Town fan Jack Morris. Now Jack, please tell me, what's it like supporting a club like Huddersfield Town?
Well, it's pretty good, and then the past 3 years has sort of been downhill trajectory since then. So,
Yeah.
But you've got to love them, haven't you?
Yeah, of course. So what's your first memory of watching Huddersfield, would you say?
So my first memory is probably the Torquay game. So Torquay United, we won 1-0. It came in from a corner, Tony Carr's outside of the box, volley. Probably put Paul Scholes to shame, one of them ones.
Yeah, with Huddersfield, of course, you've experienced many ups and downs, of course. What's the first promotion you remember as a Huddersfield fan?
Yeah, so the first promotion be the 2003-4 final against Mansfield. Ended in pretty much how usually our player finals end, 0-0, and win on a penalties. So
Yeah. With talking about Huddersfield Town, I can't help but mention the Premier League season they had just in 2017-18. What are your memories of that season, playing Premier League football?
yeah, good season, really good start. We're playing some good stuff. We had pressing football that Wagner introduced from that promotion season. Sort of tailed off a bit towards the end, but some really good memories and some good wins as well.
Yeah, the one win I do want to touch on was that one over Manchester United. What a win that was for Huddersfield, and what was the atmosphere like that day in the John Smith Stadium?
Oh well, the atmosphere has been really good for a couple of years. The promotion season and then the Premier League season was unbelievable. I know a few fans that were saying it was probably the best atmosphere they've heard in the Premier League for a while. So yeah, it was really good, and it was just rocking the place.
Yeah, mention as well the game that got you to the Premier League, the playoff final in 2017 against Reading. Going into that game, like, what were your thoughts? I mean, because minus goal difference as well, of course, and that's how you did get promoted. But what were your thoughts going into that game? It must have been crazy to think you've got a chance playing Premier League football.
Yeah, the whole season was crazy, but it was sort of like, I don't know whether most fans get this feeling, but I was confident because I felt like we couldn't lose. Like, on our day, we were unbelievable. Like, with Moy in the team, and then we just had some really good players. Schindler was a cracking leader. Heff at the back was a great leader. And then especially when we beat Sheff Wednesday on penalties with Danny Ward, I just thought, really, we can't lose this. It's meant to be.
Yeah, of course, as well, that season, you opened the season with a 3-0 win against Crystal Palace away. I mean, what a moment that must have been for Huddersfield. So that put you top, I believe, for a couple of days at least. Like, what a moment that must have been to go into Premier League and win your first away game 3-0.
Yeah, unbelievable. Against a side like Palace as well, pretty established in the Prem, so...
Yeah.
Went there, turned them over in their own backyard, and it was probably the best we've seen Steve Mooney, and then we've not really seen that version of him again. So,
yeah, of course, after the at the end of the first season, the game at Stamford Bridge that confirmed you were staying in the Premier League. What a feeling that must have been to stay in the Premier League on a very low budget. It must have been crazy, and to do it away at Stamford Bridge, a top team like Chelsea.
Yeah, well, we had this thing as Town fans. It was sort of enjoy the ride, and there was a moment where it was enjoy the ride, but the hard work needs to be put in. And we put that hard work in, and we deserved to be there. We were a really good outfit on our day, and especially against Chelsea. Some of the saves that Lossa was making were incredible, and it was sort of just sit in, defend, and see what we can get. But a really good result.
Yeah. Do you want to ask who is your favourite ever Huddersfield Town player from your time watching them?
Well, I've got a couple of favourite players. I'd probably have to pick two. It'd be Pavel Abbott, who used to be a striker back in the day. He was an unbelievable player. He's some really good memories. And then Peter Clark, a centre-back. It was just determination. He wasn't the best footballer, but he was hard-working, and he just left nothing out there. He was a really top-class player. But they're probably like low-league players, so you'll have never heard of them.
Yeah, so favourite ever goal? You might have mentioned this at the start of the video, but I am interested to hear your favourite ever goal.
Yeah, so Tony Carr's goal was unbelievable on the edge of the box at Torquay. There's been a few screamers. Or Pilkington against Sheff Wednesday in League One. That was from the edge of the box outside, and then he cuts in on his left. Beautiful goal. But I'd probably say Tony Carr's just because of the technique. Yeah,
that's fair enough. Of course, I do want to ask your opinion on a manager who got you to the Premier League, David Wagner. Like, do you have a very high opinion of him as Town fans?
Yeah, I feel like we do have a high opinion. He was called like the saviour, was David Wagner. He came in pretty unknown to us. Yeah. Changed the style of football. He was really good. In my opinion, he probably left us in the lurch a bit. He left us a bit too long. Like, he stayed for the transfer window in January and then left. Could he not have left before? Maybe we could have got someone in then. And I mean, he is a good manager, but like shown with Schalke as well a bit. I think he is a bit out of his depth, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, unfortunately, after the season, you did stay in the Premier League, so the 18-19 one wasn't good at all. I mean, what do you think went wrong for Town that season?
One word: recruitment.
Yeah.
Dreadful recruitment. Like, we're still stuck with a few of them, Diakabe and Benza. It's dreadful. Like, obviously they don't care about the club, but you'd like to see someone that does care about the club. And more importantly, why are we signing players for 12, 14 million when they're technically not good enough? But it's our recruitment to blame there, so you can't really put it down to anything else.
Yeah, in that season, what was the game where you really thought we're definitely going to go down this year? Was there a particular game where you just knew it wasn't going to happen that season?
I think it was sort of the whole atmosphere of the season. We weren't playing badly towards the start. We were playing quite well, but we didn't have that cutting edge. We weren't good enough. We weren't necessarily creating chances. We were keeping the ball. I think there was one game against Liverpool where they beat us 1-0. I think Firmino scored at home. And it was sort of just like we had chances, but we weren't putting them away. There was decisions going against us, and it sort of just feeling from there for me that it wasn't going to be a good season. Things weren't changing either, so that was a sort of issue.
Since relegation back to the Championship, what have been your thoughts so far? It's been tricky for you, but I mean, do you think there's any progress at the moment, or do you think it's only going downhill?
Definitely no progress at all. I don't know what's going on with this takeover. We've got no money in the club after being told that this Premier League adventure would set us up for years to come. That's not happened. Our chairman's come out and said that the club's actually going backwards rather than forwards at the minute, and as a fan you don't really want to hear that. We've got Carlin Grant, who's our best player. He doesn't care about the club, but he's our best player, and he's not playing because we want to sell him. And is that the right thing to do? I'm not sure, in my opinion. Getting rid of the Cowleys, was that a good thing to do? I didn't necessarily like them. I didn't like the football, but they kept us up, to be fair to them. So I feel like we're in a bad situation with the chairman, and filtering down from there, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, where do you think Huddersfield Town will finish this season, honestly, in the Championship?
A relegation for me, and I'll be happy. Survival, I don't. Before I was thinking maybe we could finish maybe mid-table, but survival I'll be happy with at the minute, but I'm really not sure it's going to come.
Yeah, so you don't think the future's bright then at the moment for Huddersfield?
I'm not sure, no. It might be me being a negative Yorkshireman, but I'm not sure we're going to be seeing Huddersfield in the Championship too much longer unless things change drastically. I mean, if we get a result tonight against Forest, things might look up.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that game tonight. You got a prediction for the Huddersfield Notts Forest game tonight? Both teams started the season badly. Both teams lost their opening 2 games, so it's quite nicely poised. But
yeah, I feel like tonight I'm a bit positive that we might actually score a goal from our first 3 games. We've not actually scored, so tonight I think we might score, but I still feel like we'll lose. I'll probably go 2-1, maybe a 1-0. It won't be one for the... It'll be one for the purists. It won't be one for the people who want to see some good football, but you never know, I could be surprised.
Yeah, well, that's all we've got time for, so thank you, Jack, for being a guest on the channel, and thank you everyone for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.